What if everything you were taught about power, control, and reality was deliberately designed to keep you asleep? What if the darkness you feel in this world, the wars, the corruption, the fear, the suffering, wasn't accidental, but intentional? And what if the architects of that darkness weren't fully human at all? Today we're going deep. We're talking about the Draco and Reptilian Alliance, who they are, how they operate, and most importantly, how you take your power back. Stay with me, because once you see this, you cannot unsee it. To understand the Draco and Reptilian Alliance, we have to go back, way back. Ancient Sumerian texts, some of the oldest written records on Earth, speak of beings called the Anunnaki, gods who came from the sky, beings of immense intelligence and power who interacted with early humanity. But not all of them came with good intentions. Across ancient cultures, Babylonian, Egyptian, Mesoamerican, even Native American, there are consistent depictions of serpent beings associated with knowledge, manipulation, and hidden power. This is not coincidence. This is a pattern. In modern spiritual and metaphysical research, these beings are identified as the Draconians, a highly advanced consciousness originating from the Draco star constellation, and their allies, the Reptilians, a related group operating closer to Earth's density. Now here's what's critical to understand from a spiritual standpoint. These are not simply physical extraterrestrials in spaceships. They are multidimensional beings. They exist in what many researchers call the fourth density, just outside the range of normal human perception, which is exactly why most people can't see them. They are described as highly intelligent, mentally advanced beyond most human comprehension. Cold, calculating, emotionless in the way we understand emotion, driven entirely by dominance, hierarchy, and control, and critically, spiritually undeveloped. For all their intelligence, they are cut off from source energy, from love, from light, and that disconnection from source is the root of everything. Now we go even deeper, and I want you to approach this with an open mind because this is perhaps the most profound and unsettling layer of this entire conversation. Many spiritual researchers, including the work of Dolores Cannon, Monroe Institute Research, and numerous near-death experiencers, point to something troubling about the reincarnation cycle itself. Most spiritual traditions teach that when we die, we return to source. We rest, we review our life, and we choose to come back for further soul growth. Beautiful, sacred, true in its original design. But what if that process has been interfered with? The soul trap theory suggests that in the lower astral planes, the first layer of existence after physical death, there are constructs designed to intercept souls before they can fully return to source. The tunnel of light that so many near-death experiencers describe may not always be the path home. In some accounts, it is described as a recycling mechanism, a way of keeping souls locked in a loop of reincarnation, returning to a controlled Earth reality, stripped of full memory, full power, and full awareness of who they truly are. The purpose? To maintain the harvest. To keep the energy supply, humanity, continuously regenerating. Now, I'm not presenting this to instill fear. Fear is exactly what feeds this system. I'm presenting this because awareness is the first act of liberation. If this is true, and many awakened souls across traditions and timelines point to something like this, then the most powerful thing you can do is remember who you are before you get here, and before you leave. Here's the truth that these forces do not want you to know. You are not a victim in this story. You are a sovereign soul, a direct expression of Source, temporarily having a human experience. And that connection to Source is something no entity, no system, and no amount of darkness can permanently sever. They can suppress it, they can distract you from it, but they cannot take it. So how do you protect yourself? How do you starve the system that feeds on your fear? First, raise your frequency. This is not just spiritual rhetoric. Frequency is literal. Joy, love, gratitude, compassion, these are high vibrational states. In these states, you are energetically sovereign. You become, as many teachers put it, inedible. Low vibrational entities cannot attach to or feed from a consistently high vibrational field. Second, protect your mental diet. What you consume, news, social media, entertainment, directly affects your frequency. This doesn't mean ignore reality, it means be intentional. Consume consciously. Don't let fear be the default setting of your nervous system. Third, strengthen your connection to Source. Whatever that looks like for you, meditation, time in nature, prayer, breathwork, creative expression. The stronger your connection to Source, the less available you are to lower forces. This is spiritual armor. Fourth, know your sovereign rights as a soul. Many spiritual researchers suggest that these entities operate within certain cosmic laws. They cannot fully override your free will without your consent, often obtained through manipulation and deception. When you withdraw consent, consciously, verbally, energetically, you shift the dynamic. Speak it. Mean it. I do not consent to interference with my energy, my soul, or my path. Fifth, stay in your heart. The heart center, not the mind, is your direct line to Source. It is also the frequency these entities are most repelled by. Love is not weakness in this context. Love is the most powerful force in existence. It always has been. The Draco and Reptilian Alliance is real, whether you understand it as literal multidimensional beings, as archetypal forces of darkness, or as the organized predatory consciousness that has shaped human suffering for millennia. The label matters less than the awareness. Because here's what I know to be true. We are in a time of awakening. More souls are waking up right now than at any point in recorded human history. The frequency of this planet is rising, and systems built on fear and control do not survive in rising frequency. You finding this video, you asking these questions, you refusing to stay asleep, that is the revolution. Stay sovereign, stay connected to Source, and keep seeking truth. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who's ready to wake up. Subscribe for more truth, more wisdom, and more light in the darkness. I'll see you in the next one.